What's good, family? Welcome to another episode of An Honest Conversation about hip hop. I am your host, D. Maraney, aka Hip Hop Old Head, aka Hip Hop's Uncle Phil, and always with me tonight, I have the one and only.
It's your boy, Son Capone, the greatest rapper never known, aka Thick Sabin. Friday Night Lights gonna have these baby mamas misbehaving.
Wait. Thick Sabin,
Thick Sabin, baby. We over here throwing scholarships for these baby mamas.
So, as in Nick Saban, head coach of the Alabama
Crimson
Tide,
yes,
and
sir.
you got the D1 baby mamas misbehaving.
Oh, you better believe it.
All right, so you have to tell me what is elite baby mama talent versus like walk on or JC baby mama talent.
It's all based off of athletic abilities, you know.
So the quicker the baby mama, the better opportunity
well,
that.
Not quicker. We're not talking about cones and cones and bag drills. You know.
So can you give me an athletic thick baby mama attribute?
You know, a thick baby mama attribute is when things pierce tonsils and she can go ahead and continue the motion. You know. Without stopping, that's a great baby mama attribute right there.
So can you give the athletic baby mamas your information real quick so they can, if they're trying to be recruited, they know where they can come try out?
Man, Son Capone, Simkapone, and you can Twitter, Instagram, Facebook,
everywhere. Now, are you giving full rides out?
Full rides.
Yeah,
hey, you know it's almost cuffing season, so you know what, you might have a little dorm stay for a semester or two.
All right. And I also got with me tonight
Big Pooh, aka The Stroke.
That's it.
That's
short
it.
and sweet.
Short and sweet.
No scholarships, Pooh.
No, I'm
signing bonuses.
I'm cutting bitches.
Oh damn.
Cutting them.
Hey, well, I need to go ahead and check Pooh's roster, waiver wire.
What's that? That transfer? What's that called, Pooh? Where they go
The
to
transfer
the
portal.
protocol.
You know, we got some eligible positions over here. Hey, recycle, reuse, and what is it? 3 term or some shit like that.
According to Choke No Joke, Dame has been in that transfer protocol program a few times.
I ain't got Dame paper, so you know it's a little realer over here and shit.
According to some, Dame ain't got Dame paper. You know what I mean? So, but that shit is crazy. That's a whole nother conversation. But welcome to An Honest Conversation about hip hop. It's the first time you're checking us out. We talk a whole lot of shit about hip hop. We try to be as unbiased as possible, and we always try to talk and really just hit you with facts. Whether they're unpopular facts, they're still facts at the end of the day. So big shout out to Big Bad Radio, Philadelphia Stand Up. You can check us every Monday morning at 7 a.m. Our time, 10 a.m. their time. So 10 a.m. Eastern and 7 a.m. Pacific Standard. Also, you know where to find us: iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, but also you can find us on our Libsyn page and always on our Facebook at An Honest Conversation about hip hop. So, gentlemen, we don't have really any topics really to talk about. We're going to just kind of not so much off the dome it, but just talk about lingering shit that's still in the news. We really don't have anything I think too new to talk about. The big news is still Jay-Z in the NFL. So last week, everybody wanted to kill Jay-Z, die Jay-Z, right? Because of this deal that he made with the NFL. A lot of rumors in regards to what it was about. We heard that he was possibly going to own a team, 5% of a team, maybe the Steelers, maybe this and that. So as we've gotten more information, we now know that there is no ownership as of right now for Jay-Z. That's not including this deal. And this is really a media partnership with Roc Nation and the NFL to basically, it's like a glorified product placement. You're going to use your music, you're going to use your celebrity to go ahead and help us when it comes to the execution of our multimedia platforms, our halftime shows and shit like that. And then JC is going to be on this was it Injustice Initiative, the head of that or something to that effect. So now that we have more information, I'll start with you, Pooh. I'm going to ask you, What are your thoughts now? We're now a week out. What are you feeling about the deal?
I still feel the same. I really thought about it. Like, the initial protest was about police brutality and minorities and shit like that. What happened to that?
Right.
Like, because people make it seem like, okay, Jay took the next step from Kaepernick, and like, what are we doing now? We're beyond kneeling and all that, but he was kneeling for a cause. So what the fuck did Jay-Z have to do with the cause that was initially created?
I agree. Like, I think that's where the attention really needs to go right now. It's like, okay, cool. If Jay, you're going to be part of this social injustice platform, all I'm hearing about is giving the players who are inside the league a voice and podcasts and opportunities to voice themselves and freely speak and things of that nature. But there hasn't even been a rollout of any plan on what he's going to do for the social injustice with the NFL. Jay has paid for people's bail. Jay has, spent millions trying to get Meek Mill out of his situation. He's done a lot for 21 Savage. He's paid for funerals, things of that nature. So I'm not going to pretend that Jay hasn't done anything for the cause, so to speak.
I mean, not necessarily, because I mean, everybody that he's funded is been on a celebrity status.
That's not true. There's been some families, like before Father's Day, he bailed out a whole bunch of fathers that there was no celebrity status to them. They were just regular people.
Yeah, but that, you know what I mean? That's bail. You know what I mean? Like, pay for defense. You know what I mean? Like, do something significant. Get them home for the weekend. That's cool. But what the fuck the kids gonna do when they go back all summer? You know what I mean?
No, I feel you on that. But the reason I referenced that was just because I don't want to make it seem like Jay hasn't done anything. My question is now, what can you do with the NFL to make shit better for black people? Not the athletes, right?
They conformed them, you know what I mean? And I mean, yeah, you're giving them a platform, but we're still talking about the same organization that made it, punishable, through, not employing anybody for kneeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah, blackballing Kaepernick.
Straight up. I mean, Kaepernick, look at Eric Reed had to fight just to get back into the league to play again. And he's still walking on fucking eggshells.
What was that, 9 drug tests before, the preseason 1 or something ridiculous to that amount.
Yeah, he had a lot last year, and it's already starting this year.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. Does the NFL have a power to affect change amongst how people of color are treated?
Definitely.
You think they have the power to really to change that?
Simply, the influence of the shit, because the shit is fucking universal. I mean, throughout the world, they were fucking in Canada yesterday. You know what I mean? Playing the game. They're fucking playing games in Mexico City. They're playing games in London. So if they have influence in those countries, why couldn't they increase the influence here? You
agree with that, Pooh? Or?
I really. Because it's the U.S. That's just what the fuck we are.
Right.
I mean, I include everyone in this shit. This is what we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I really don't think so. I mean,
I look at it this way. I think that this country has been inherently racist a lot longer than they've played football.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Now, you asked if we can influence, or the NFL could influence.
Well, I mean, really change, because that's what we're looking.
Now, do they want to? That's a whole nother story.
I feel like the masses are looking at Jay-Z as like, here's your opportunity to change something for us, And if he went into that, if this is not really what his sincerest vibe is, and he's just like, look, that's what we're going to sell, then my question is, what can the NFL really do? In my opinion, I don't think the NFL can really do anything. You could have a whole bunch of great commercials. You could start a whole bunch of programs in low-income neighborhoods. But, to go back to what you're saying, it's about police brutality, which has nothing to do with anything I think the NFL can do.
Yeah, nothing at all. Like when Kaepernick did this shit, he did it to bring awareness to police brutality. It had nothing to do. The kneeling had nothing to do with the NFL. He just used the NFL platform because it bring awareness.
Right.
But the cause has been lost. You know what I mean? So, and then Goodell sitting there patting Jay-Z and shit like a pet monkey and shit.
Yeah, man, that shit was weird.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man.
After going back and watching
it, shit. He just let Jay threw Jay in the fire, and Jay's over here trying to defend shit. He wasn't prepared for that shit.
Nah, it looks as if, hey, season's about to start again. We need to do some shit. Jay, here's a big bag. Roc Nation. We were just talking about this earlier. G Perico's just signed. Griselda's just signed. Rhapsody, props to her, just released a dope ass album. So they have so much going on there now. And you were saying, Pooh, it's almost like becoming a monopoly where all Roc Nation has like all the artists, and that's another thing to talk about. How come every other industry can be regulated that way, but it appears in the music business, and with these sports agencies, they can sign all, you either fucking with the big guys or you fucking with somebody unknown, or like, what was it, Ray Allen and them. I do my own shit, you know what I mean? So this is definitely the next move for Jay. This is a smart, calculated business move. I definitely think he's compromised himself. I don't want to hear no woke shit on any more records from him. You know what I mean? I don't care how well it's written, and I don't care if it's needed at the time, but you are now longer that vessel. And not that I ever looked at him as that, hey, this is the wokest dude or the most militant dude, or this is a guy giving me bars on my social awareness. But going forward, in my opinion, I don't think that's just a position he can put himself in. Yeah.
I mean, if you go by Jay-Z's track record, he's a brand builder and seller. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he sells his share of Roc Nation. Once it gets to its highest point, that's the most valuable it's going to be. Grab the cash and dash. I believe. Let's see if that shit happens. Yeah. That's his track record.
Well, I mean, it sounds like that. The deal with Live Nation, deal with Rock, you know what I mean? So, again, that is the shit that he does.
Yeah.
And he gets out from it, and he moves on to the next. No pun intended. I know that's one of his joints or whatever. But, I mean, that's what he does. And that's what he's learned from these moguls. And, again, I think that's where people are looking at this wrong. They're thinking this is Jay-Z, the corner hustler. Jay-Z, Hard Knock Life. Jay-Z, the Black Album. No, this is Jay-Z. He's transcended that. He's trying to get like Warren Buffett. He's trying to get like all these dudes he's kicking it with. So he knows that, he is the brand. So anything he attaches himself to, people are going to fuck with. You know what I mean? I think the only pitfall is he needs to make sure people are fucking with him. Because if at some point he moves on somewhere else and people are tired of his shit, then that kills his brands.
I thought about it after the last episode. Actually, I thought about it last episode, but I didn't get a chance to say it on air. We were giving Master P props for being like the best hustler and all that type of shit. No, Jay-Z surpassed that.
Oh, of course.
He surpassed that shit.
Yeah, I mean, P is somebody that introduced a certain level of hustling to the game and set up a lot of other cats. But with this deal here and the shit that Jay and Roc Nation, and I don't want to make it sound like Jay is the only one that's making these moves. Roc Nation has a very impressive team of people behind them. But what they are doing right now is unprecedented from an urban standpoint, from, hip hop standpoint. The connections and the moves that they're making, you have to salute. The only foul taste is, in my opinion, for those people who believe that this social change is going to come and injustice is somehow going to be swept under the mighty paper plane hat of Jay-Z. It's not happening. Niggas are still going to get shot. We still going to get a raw deal. But Super Bowl Sunday, you're going to get Drake doing Jumpman or some shit like that. Or, you know what I mean? That's just where we're headed. And, hey, you know what? If that means more people of color can get corporate American checks through, whatever, the Super Bowl, Pepsi, whoever else, Roc Nation chooses to place these artists. And, hey, man, more props to them. But don't lie to me. Don't tell me you're trying to do something for us when you're really doing something for you. And the us is Roc Nation. That's the us.
It's some, I don't know. I know, like, when it comes to black folks, we divide on a lot of shit. I don't know, man. I just think, because it's a lot of people defending that shit like they know the ins and outs of the shit. I just think, overall, it's targeted to the weak-ass black folks. It's a lot of them, like the NFL, I said it last week, the NFL niggas, like, I don't know, man. We just weak as fuck. Like, niggas is I don't.
There's really no leadership, and I think that is a problem at a higher level when it comes to someone that we can see and all, I guess, identify with. You know what I mean? And I think as people of color, we've been segregated mentally. Not so, yes, we've had segregation happen, but mentally we segregate ourselves from own people. Dark skinned people don't like light skinned people. Light skinned people beef with dark skinned people. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the black folks that live here don't like the black folks that ain't as rich, and the black folks from the hood can't fuck with the black folks from, and it's along those other lines. You can break it down to the Hispanic community. It's the same shit. You know what I mean? And so, it's just a weird place for us to be mentally, and then you're looking for this hero to save us, and we look at our celebrities as if these are the people who are going to push us forward. The Beyoncés, the Jay-Z's, the J. Cole's, the Kendricks. You know what I mean?
That's our fault.
It is our fault, 100%.
Listen. But I mean, when we've been programmed that shit for the last 600 years, because our hero was supposed to be Jesus, and they influenced that shit. We've been looking for a hero since the beginning of the introduction, of that, for that period of time. So I mean, we're that's what it is. That's what they got us to, is superheroes. And I mean, fucking Black Panther and stuff like that. I was going crazy. Everybody want to go see Black Panther for Black empowerment, but it's like, man, we looking forward to a fucking comic book hero to give us some kind of self-worth and pride. And that, to me, that shit, that's the worst. You know what I mean? And I think we've been programmed like that for too goddamn long. And I can understand we can kind of point the finger at us, but it's not our fault. Because I mean,
at some point, conform to it. But at some point, you have to be smarter than that.
So when do we break that and become smarter?
It can be tomorrow. It could be now. It starts individually. It starts as men, raising their children, and women raising their children, and it starts in your household. And I mean, again, I'm not going to put this on a white Jesus type of situation, but to be honest, we as people do not look within and believe in within. I was just having this conversation. We're about to take it somewhere else with my wife the other day, because sometimes when she's talking to my son and he says he wants to do some shit that isn't within the realm of her understanding, it's automatically negated. It's automatically like, no, that's crazy. You can't do that. You know what I mean? And that comes from that mentality that has been passed down by our parents, that, not to dream big, not to be something that, that is is uncommon from where you come from. Do what's safe. Work at the power plant like your pops, or work in the restaurant like your pops, or your mom's gonna hook you up where she works at, or whatever it might be, or just go to college, get a degree or GED, whatever, work as a mechanic. There is no really uplifting of us, and at some point that's our fault for that. We have to break the shackles, mental shackles of that. We have to look in the mirror and say, okay, so for how many generations have we had the same mind state, and how's it worked out for those generations? Are we truly bettering ourselves, or is every generation just getting slightly worse? And for a lot of our people, we're getting slightly worse each generation, and that is because we just don't, in my opinion, we don't allow ourselves to dream, or we don't invest in those. Like, how many people do you know that we know a whole bunch of bright ass people that are of color, right? That could have done some good shit, but what happens? No one invests that time in them. No one helps them find that out. It ends up becoming, something you don't want to do, and you just fall in line with everybody else. So it is our fault, in my opinion, because we have to stop looking at these celebrities like they're coming to save the day. They might donate some money. They might make a cool little theme song. They might twit some tweet shit or whatever. But at the end of the day, not many of them are walking that walk and talking that talk. And if they are, as I don't know who brought it up last week, but there's building schools in Africa. Well, we don't have schools out here for our kids. You know what I mean? And this is, and again, I'm not to say that, the motherland doesn't deserve shit, but I mean, let me ask you that. How do you guys feel about the Oprahs, the Little Johns, people like that who invest big, build schools in Africa while shit is fucked up here?
I honestly feel like because they're not allowed to, or they're afraid to. I really believe that shit, because it doesn't make any sense. Like, it seems like that's the thing that rich people do. As soon as they get money, then they go to third world countries and do shit where we got third world fucking communities in the United States where no one even attempts to help.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense to me. And it's I actually heard Corey Holcomb say it. Like just say Jay-Z and Tupac. Tupac was anointed by the people. Even Young Nip just got killed. He's been anointed by the people. Nobody's anointed Jay-Z to shit. He's just, his money makes him like, oh, he's the next man in line. Like, but like, you know, like I don't even know what fucking term. Like, it wasn't like an organic move where Jay-Z became this powerful black man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, it's because he's a good businessman. We think, oh, let's follow his lead. Well, he's a fucking capitalist. He's doing business the way that the 1%ers do in this country. Stomp on the little man. Keep your foot on their motherfucking neck. And that's not the type of person that leads the people. That he's basically looking for himself.
Right.
And he does little things. Well, I can't say his mindset, but just from the outside looking in, it kind of seems like he does enough to where he can continue to stomp on your neck, but because then you can say like, well, you know what? He did bail out a couple of daddies out of jail and he helped me. It's enough to where you can turn the other cheek and he can continue to do what the fuck he's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
And it's just like that with the NFL shit. I feel like they got him to calm everybody down. Like, oh, Jay-Z's here now, so let's not have a revolt this season. Let's have a smooth season. Kaepernick is gone. Reed and them going to keep doing what they're doing, but nobody really gives a fuck about them. Like, the whole mission was Kaepernick. Nobody cares about Eric Reed or what's the little light skinned nigga in Miami? Kenny Stills. You know what I'm saying?
They played 8 records in a row of Jay-Z. Like, that's some fucked up shit.
You know what I mean? So,
like the coach to do that, to play 8 records in a row while he's out there practicing, knowing just what he said. That's that whole good old boys mentality, that's what Jay has joined up. He's clicked in with the good old boys, you know, and he's going to have to act that way and carry himself that way. He's not going to be over there and if he was rebellious, he's not going to be rebellious. He can't, because there's too much money on the line for him. He is now shoulder to shoulder with billionaires who have way more money than him. I'm not saying he's never been in those rooms before, but now you're kind of on a peer level because I work with you, yada yada yada, whatever the situation is. Now you're out there with big money, rubbing shoulders with them. You're not going to do something to alienate yourself from being welcomed in those rooms.
Isn't it strange? And I said it. I mean, it might have been 2 weeks ago that Jay-Z's a recluse. Yeah. But now all of a sudden, Jay-Z's in front of the motherfucking microphone. He's in front of the camera. I feel like he has to do this shit. Jay-Z reminds me of Kanye when he was fucking with fucking Trump.
And that is a very good point, because let me ask you this. And these were some conversations that were happening online this week. What if it was Kanye that came out and said, I'm fucking with the NFL and the good music and I'm producing all the records and you know, this and that?
Niggas wouldn't fuck with that shit.
They wouldn't, right?
No.
And so essentially it's kind of the same thing. A large segment of the black and brown community are saying fuck you, NFL, because you know you're not letting these people you know, protest. Some of you owners are clicked in with, you know, the president or whatnot, you know, so no, we're not supporting you. And if, like I said, Kanye came out to be outraged, but they bring in Jay, and now I see more. It's football season posts on the timeline from you know, versus where it was at last year. So yeah, you know what, it has to be looked at as a wait and see, in my opinion. I'm gonna be 100% honest. So I have no high hopes for this, other than music and documentaries get made about maybe, you know, some players that are obscure and have really good stories that need to be told. But as far as injustice and things getting better for people as a whole of color, I don't see that coming.
Like I said, the police brutality shit, what happened to that? Like, ain't no speaking. It's spinning niggas' wheels, and everybody don't think like we think. So these chicken sandwich eating motherfuckers is gonna watch that shit and go camp out and get fucking over processed chicken sandwiches and shit.
Gobble gobble
on the top.
Yeah,
and that's the perfect segue. So, do you know that? So, who put the chicken out? It was Popeyes, right?
Yeah.
So Popeyes put this chicken sandwich out that everybody's going fucking crazy for. I have not had it yet because I'm on the keto diet. Dan, you don't even fuck with. Son, don't even fuck with it like that. Pooh, you said you tasted it before the hype started. So we'll start with you and ask you, as a connoisseur of chicken sandwiches,
Oh, shit.
what do you say in regards to the Popeye chicken sandwich?
Well, number one, I don't blame Popeyes.
I don't either.
The shit's been out for like 4 months. I do remember months, like a month or two ago, Slim Thug hashtagged it and said that he thought Popeyes was better. Over the last week or so, I don't know where the craze came from because I went to Popeyes, shit, I'll say 4 days ago because I knew they had like this little budget meal, surf and turf, little $5 box. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go there instead of eating McDonald's or whatever. And when I got there, I didn't see it, so I was like, you know what, damn, they got a chicken sandwich. Let me see what this shit tastes like. So I ordered this shit without the mayonnaise, and it was just to me, over. You know how like some chicken you eat is more crisp than meat.
Yeah.
So it was thick. It had meat in it. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't really like that crisp, like all that crunch shit with no meat in it. I already wasn't fucking with it. So then I find out later it's a challenge between them and Chick-fil-A. In my opinion, I'm taking Chick-fil-A over that sandwich. But it's just amazing. Like, motherfuckers is rushing that shit like the county. That's what we used to call that shit in junior high school. Like when the lunch bell ring and motherfuckers running to the free food line. Like it's like everybody running to that shit. It's like man,
motherfuckers is fighting.
It's embarrassing, my nigga. Like I posted on Facebook, like all niggas need is Kool-Aid and watermelon. The shit don't make no sense. It's embarrassing to me. Like it makes no motherfucking sense. Niggas is just it's like everybody's like follow the leader. If we put that effort into something positive,
our kids,
look, we could choose. Let's just say, not to just make this about black folks, but let's just say throw a run like Leroy. Like everybody knows who Leroy is. Let's go flood Leroy's fucking establishment or online business for this week, and then next week we'll go to someone else's, and the next week and so on and so forth.
Man, you're reading my mind. I'm glad you brought that up. So let me ask you this. Speaking of let's go flood this person, you know how much ad revenue just online in marketing, or sorry, let me just take it back. You know how much marketing that Popeyes saved, meaning the money that, the dollar amount of the money that they would have had to spend in order to get the type of attention that they've got for free. Can anybody throw a number out?
You probably, 10, 15 million?
Pooh.
Shit, on the spot, I don't know. It got to be in the millions though.
$23 million. $23 million. So that tells you the value and the power of, and I'm not just gonna say black people because everybody's tweeting and retweeting and all this kind of shit, but that social media demographic that catches these hypes and tweets these type of shits. $23 million is what Popeyes would have had to spend to get that much traction. And as you said, Pooh, if we chose to just focus that on actual good shit, you know what I mean? Because, hey, that's something you can't stop. They can't stop me from retweeting your restaurant. They can't stop me from retweeting your, yoga studio or whatever, or your wellness center or your library. And could you imagine if we could be that organized? Where it's like, hey, if you live in Austin, Texas, support this brother. If you live in such and such, support this sister. You support this person. Here's this business. You know what I mean? And you're talking about putting people on the map and changing lives forever. And then even deeper than that, changing the community that live or that person lives in, and or his business is located, or he or she's business is located. It's crazy how we have, in my opinion, we're still the rats in the wheel, the mouse in the wheel. It's just a different whole, used to be fields, then it was hard labor, then it was menial jobs or whatever. Now we're the fucking engine behind promotion of, for these big fucking companies that we don't see any of this.
We're the biggest consumers because we don't financially put anything the fuck away. There's no money market accounts or any CDs open or shit. I don't shit. It's fucked up because we're guilty of it. I don't know anybody that's got a trust fund for any of their kids. You know what I mean?
Shit.
Shit like fuck.
Got a couple G's in the lugs box though.
So
Funkmaster Flex lugs. Got a couple G's there.
But we're the ones that are the loosest with our money. You know what I mean? And shit, if we're gonna be the loosest with our money, we might as well just go ahead and pass it along. To somebody like ourselves. The fuck does Apple need our money for?
You know what's crazy? Kind of off base, whatever you want, however you say it. I don't know who the fuck said it, but somebody said it, and I was like, what the fuck? I never thought it like that. Black women spend more than this Popeyes chicken money with with the Asian women in the community as far as the hair and nails and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Please, maybe y'all can enlighten me. How much money does the Asian woman spend with the black woman?
Zero.
Not a goddamn thing.
Nothing at all.
They robbing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing, man. If you take a look at it, and this is what drives me crazy about these rich, woke, black or Hispanic folks.
Yeah.
That will go and invest outside of their neighborhoods, knowing that there is money to be made in the neighborhoods. You know, and this was very evident to me when I started living in South Central. When I looked at the TAMs, and I saw and again, folks who know me, I'm not racist, so let's not start that narrative. These are facts.
No racism.
Is that what Choke was saying? No racism?
No
yeah,
racism.
Nah, shit. You look at me and my family, you can't accuse me of that. But I don't care anyway. So, off top, you go into a TAMS on 52nd and Central, it's owned by a Korean lady. The liquor stores are not owned by anybody locally who patronizes those stores. The t-shirt shops, you know what I mean? There's nothing whatsoever, you know? And the laundromats, nothing is owned by us. But we'll go and buy some other shit somewhere else. You know what I mean? And oh yeah, I got a fucking Buffalo Wild Wings and, you know, fucking Miami, you know, or on Hollywood Boulevard, you know what I mean? But there is no reinvestment. And, you know, I give props to, you mentioned Slim Thug earlier. He's buying a lot of old shit up in his neighborhood. Let's give props to Queen Latifah. She got a new joint with Rhapsody out. Or Rhapsody has her on the album. Latifah spitting bars. But she just bought that, you know, whole tenement area in fucking New Jersey. She's going to turn that into low-cost homes. So, again, there are some people out there that are making moves. But if you could get every single person who has some wealth and the know-how to reinvest like other communities do within themselves, I think we'd be all right.
Yeah.
If we can get more J's to actually do that type of shit, we'll be fine. Stop worrying about fucking chicken sandwiches that probably ain't even good.
I'm telling you, and I know you a food connoisseur.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just, don't even waste the hour.
I'm putting chicken sandwiches up for me. I'm putting Chick-fil-A is one. It is a good fucking chicken sandwich. It is. Two is it's a smaller spot. It's called Bruxy.
I heard of Bruxy.
Yeah, Bruxy has a really good chicken sandwich, like with a little waffle joint or whatever. Outside of that, for me, all chicken sandwiches are pretty trash. They're pretty dry. They got that one fucking dollop of mayonnaise on the fucking top of it. It either has a sesame bun or a fancy brioche bun. And unless it got bacon or some tomato or some other shit on there, it's going to be dry and it's going to be whack as fuck. So I'm not going to break keto to try this raggedy motherfucker. I'll let other people tell me about it. But it just, someone took a picture of it. Like you said, Pooh, the shit looked too crispy. Like when you fried it, you had too much batter. And I don't want to bite into just crispy, tasteless fucking batter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
I don't know if I'm getting old, but when I bit this shit, like, it made my gums sore. Does that make sense?
That's too hard.
You know what I mean? Like, so fuck that sandwich. It damn near feel like that damn sandwich. And I'm not gonna say that the powers that be caused it, because I feel like we did it to ourselves. That shit damn near knocked the Jay-Z shit off the headlines.
Man, the Jay-Z shit off the headlines. The Amazon is burning right now on some real shit. We got a whole bunch of fuck shit still going on in our government. You know what I mean? So these little tantalizing headlines that become viral real quick, and then the people who go in and Photoshop, and this is shit I don't like, is when they go in and they Photoshop and try to make it an urban thing. Like, oh yeah, I saw one Popeyes, you dropping a sandwich, and it's supposedly Chick-fil-A's Twitter account. When we see you, it's on site, on gang or whatever that, or on the dead homies or some shit like that. You know what I mean? And that's fucking disrespectful, because don't use our pain to market your fucking product.
Yeah, it's some bullshit.
You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. and again, but oh man, look at this. This is funny. They beefing and da 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 da. And then
motherfuckers shared it, and that's how the fuck we seen it.
Yeah,
you know
we were retweeting the shit, and then it becomes some bullshit gospel in some sense, man. So I don't know, man. That's just a whole lot of bullshit to me.
What do y'all feel about the social media little
Instagram fake shit?
Yeah.
On Facebook and look,
man,
motherfuckers is gullible.
Right. People want to be
off and shit.
People want to be a part of shit so bad. You know, and how many times do you see that within the course of a month? Tomorrow starts this. Tomorrow starts that. So share this if you don't want to share that. Like tomorrow, Facebook says we're charging you $19 to be on Facebook. I'm gonna say Facebook, fuck you. Not paying $19. You know, it just shows people are so connected to shit that, oh man, I'm not paying $19, but I still need my Facebook. Fuck that. I'm gonna share this.
Fuck them. They can keep that shit.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, man. This whole
It's the influence again. We talk about the fucking influence. And, you know, I mean, shit, we easily influenced, but just by the wrong fucking shit. You know, motherfuckers don't think deeply enough. You know what I mean?
Nah, and that's what it is, man. There's no thought. There's no real thought put behind things. People say and just do shit, you know, too much. We live in life like a fucking Blueface record. So whatever comes to mind, we fucking saying and doing.
Bars.
You know what I mean? It's I don't know, man. We getting. I think we getting a little too deep. Let's back it up and try to talk about some other shit. We can do that, man. We were talking about Dre, and you know, Dre definitely being that icon on the West and just in music period. You know, we had talked about it a few weeks ago, and him having probably, I don't know, maybe 2 of the top 10 greatest albums ever. Is that fair to say? The Chronic and the Chronic 2?
Yeah, without debating the shit. Yeah.
Without right. I mean, that's, you know, for those that want to debate, fuck it, top 15.
Yeah,
that's not debatable. All right, it is what it is. So if you had to pick the one album, Chronic 1 or Chronic 2, Simon, where you going?
As far as the better album in production, I'd probably have to go 2001.
2001.
They just had too much heat on it, but my favorite is the original. You know,
I agree. I think 2001 is the better packaged album. The delivery of the album. The original Chronic was so raw and, you know, ahead of its time. You know, well, I mean, they were still doing. I mean, Dre took the Bomb Squad sound and freaked it and took it to a whole nother level, but it was still ahead of its time as far as, you know, niggas was dancing to gangster records, which was, you know, it was mainstream. It was some shit that had never happened before. You know, I don't know if 2001 was so much game changing. You know, I think that was just kind of Dre trying to really establish Dre and Aftermath and you know, we're legitimately real, we out here type of thing, you know what I mean? But
it was a statement because we was kind of stagnant, you know what I mean, as far as with the West Coast. And I mean, you had I mean, what powerful albums after Pac died, I mean, hit on the West Coast that was that strong from between, you know, Pac's death and the Chronic 2001. I mean, the only thing I can think of is probably West Side Connection. You know what I mean? When what was it, 96?
Bow Down?
With that album, you know what I mean?
That's true, because that did come in and that was kind of the shit for a minute.
Yeah. It was prior to his death though, but right there.
Yeah.
Was it prior?
Yeah, it was the summer. Cause I remember it was
so it dropped right before then.
Right before he died.
So,
yeah. In my opinion, man, look, 2 great albums in their own right. I feel like 2001, like Dre didn't clear a sample of the intro music to the album because he just needed it that bad because of the sound of the album. I think production wise, like just the sonically, the sound of it is probably the best sounding album in hip hop history. Yeah. You just put it in and just hear the clarity of the album.
Yeah.
Probably the greatest ever. I'm gonna say I like the first one better only because it launched many people's careers. Like
Yeah.
the whole.
That's real spit.
You know what I'm saying? Like the impact that one made with Snoop and Daz and Nate Dogg. Like niggas had never heard them niggas before.
Right,
It launched the whole rage. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of RBX.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then if you look at it for like face value, the aftermath is technically the aftermath of Death Row, which that album launched Death Row. So that's basically the tree that sprouted all the roots to all this shit.
Impact wise, the original is definitely that one. I do think that 2001 had more sustained hits.
Yeah.
And catalog wise, if you listen to everything that they were doing on that one, that's a hard album to beat, like song for song. You know, you could argue it might not be the best rapped fucking album or whatever. I mean, there are people who will try to dissect it. But 2001 might be one of the best put together in totality songs and everything hip hop albums ever.
Man, I played the album in the car last week driving, a 45-minute trip. And it was shit on there that I forgot about. Like damn, like the songs that didn't get no like Act Right and
I love Act Right.
Some LA niggas and shit like that. Like damn, I forgot all about that shit. Like and then like in the beginning towards the middle, like with like Explosive and all that type of shit. Like what's the shit with Devin on it?
I just want to fuck.
I just want to like them.
Well, and then he's on Explosive as well.
Like the sound of them, like the production. Not saying if Dre made the beats or however the fuck that go.
Right.
But just the sound of that shit.
Yeah.
And then also, not only on the West Coast, we was coming off the heels of the Shiny Suit shit, the No Limit and the Masterpiece. I mean, and the Puff Daddy shit was going on. And when that shit dropped, it kind of gave us a breath of fresh air all over again.
Yeah.
I don't think the West Coast was able to sustain the impact of that album, but it was accepted nationwide because we all just needed something else, and that's like at the time when Wu-Tang kind of fell off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was
Check out my graph.
Yeah, we just needed something, and it served its purpose.
Yeah, it did. And again, I'm not gonna say it made a household name, but I mean it strengthened Eminem's resume. You know what I mean? Even though he was huge, you know what I mean? It definitely strengthened his resume, especially with that segment of the population that wasn't fucking with him and still probably doesn't fuck with him to this day. You know what I mean? It didn't help too many folks. Devin still stayed doing what Devin does. What was my man's name? Mailman? Swearing on her. Hitman. What happened to him?
Hitman, Six Deuce out of Dallas.
Yeah.
You didn't hear Six Deuce that much more.
But Hitman stood out on that album too.
Yeah, Hitman was like the Snoop Dogg of the first one.
And that's crazy. Because we never got a solo, right?
No, I heard some underground shit that never made it to their lives. All them niggas in that era, Hitman. What was the Latin cat from Pittsburgh?
No, you're not talking about Chino XL, right?
No. All them niggas who Dre had at that little time. We had like Stat Quo. He had.
It wasn't Joe Beast.
Beast. It was Joe Beast. It was a few other cats. It just seemed like he didn't do anything with any of them artists that was around at that time. You know what I mean? They kind of just, that album was so impactful, yet nobody from that album really went anywhere. But you know what? There is an artist who was hot at that time, and to me, he excelled on the album too, and I think he's kind of forgotten. Exhibit was pretty good on that album too.
Yeah. And you know what? I think X doesn't get the credit that he does, for being as influential as he was in the West.
Yeah.
I don't think and I don't know why that is. I don't know why, because he's transitioned so quickly to TV and became Mr. Pimp My Ride. But for a minute, Exhibit was one of the best, and not saying he still can't flow or whatever, but as far as just his bodies of work, he was one of the best on the West at a point in time.
I think it's because he didn't come in gangster. He kind of.
He came in on the underground.
Yeah, he was fucking with the Liquid Crew, and then he transitioned to fucking with Snoop and them, and I don't think the streets really they didn't embrace it the way they gave it a shot, and he kind of got that little crowd, but I don't think it was authentic. And then when he first dropped, he got dissed on Machiavelli album. You know what I mean?
I didn't know he got dissed on. Damn.
He got when the Outlaw said, "If you ain't in the rap game for the motherfucking cash, man, then what is your motherfucking purpose?"
Oh yeah.
I got a little message for the nigga that made the song Paparazzi. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
He came in with Paparazzi, and niggas wasn't. Hip hop niggas was feeling Paparazzi.
Right. Street niggas
wasn't feeling that.
Damn, I forgot about that. The Outlaws were some more active ass cats, huh?
Yeah. That's some real shit. I fuck with Paparazzi.
Yeah,
I fuck with that whole album.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that album was super dope. Was it the third album?
I just listened to it the other day. 'Cause I posted the LA Times track.
Yeah.
It ain't 21 Over. That's the Alcoholics.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of that
what it was
shit.
called, but that what you see is what you get.
That album.
Yeah.
It had some heat on there.
He did have some heat, man, and I know he's still doing open bar entertainment. And he's got some. It's not a podcast. He's got like a radio show going on with Sirius Satellite. So I mean, Exhibit's still out there getting his paper, but he's one of those people that I think, for whatever reason, he doesn't get respect. And I think that it would have been nice to hear him and Dre continue to really work together. Dre's had some cats, Nocturnal. Like, I would have liked to see more music from Nocturnal. You know what I mean? And I know we'll say, Raekwon and all the people that he was signed to him at some point, but I don't know.
I don't know. Like you said, Exhibit has star quality because even when you think when Snoop was doing No Limit, that Top Dog album, where he did the Bitch Please track.
Yeah.
Take Exhibit off the first verse. Yeah. That track was garbage.
That track is and if we're talking about the remix, even with fucking the odd Eminem verse on there, that
no, big suit though.
That shit made no sense. Like that was one of the points where I was just tired of him because it was like they were trying to shoehorn him into places he fucking didn't fit. I don't want to be in the fucking club and hear 20-inch balls, big old schlong or whatever. Like, fuck out of here with that, man.
I never thought about it like that. It's like he got placed on track with gangster rappers, but he was saying that same goofball shit.
Yeah, it was some goofball shit. I'm standing here with a can, and me and Dre ain't been found out right here. You know what I mean? Like, he was saying some goofball shit. They were just putting him in places. And what we talked about this weeks ago with that Conway track. Conway spitting, and then here you come, this angry old man telling us how you don't like these young rappers again. We've heard it. You've said it for 2 albums now. And you say it on every fucking freestyle. Like, we're tired of it. We don't want to hear it no more. It's cool. Let it go. You know what I mean? Did you guys see the video with Royce basically going off on Lord Jamar for having beef with him? It's like I heard
they had an issue, but I haven't seen it.
Like a 9-minute rant. He's just going in and whatnot. And it's funny because both Lord Jamar and Eminem continue. Lord Jamar more than Eminem, but it's like, at some point, you too rich. Just fall back. Worry about Griselda and what they doing. Lord Jamar, you already got your little coin for saying what you said. You already got your time. You know what I mean? Like, again, one of these other brothers who's supposed to be super woke. Well, let's do some super woke shit instead of fucking with Marshall. You know what I mean? Like, it don't make any sense to me.
I'm not gonna say an argument, but I made a comment on Gully TV's live, and he was talking about like how Lord Jamar and them niggas was like legends, and I said, I don't know if I brought this up on the show before. I said on his shit, man, I don't even think Brand Nubian is a top 20 group of all time. That nigga said, are you out of your motherfucking mind? And this, that, and that, and this. And I started to think like, I know I'm not fucking tripping. Them niggas is not fucking top 20. Like, how is Lord Jamar a fucking legend because he was on Punk's Jump Up to Get Beat Down in a couple other tracks?
Right.
I mean, I respect him for being from the Essence and all that type of shit, but Lord Jamar, we want to say top 100. I don't even know what the fuck if he's in there.
As far as solo?
Yeah.
So first of all, Lord Jamar is not top 100 all time. And if he believes that, then he's fucking tripping. I love Brand Nubian. Top 20 rap groups. I'd have to write a list down, but it would be hard for me to include. It would be hard for me to include them in top 20 rap groups of all time. And now people are going to probably be in the comments like, name your 20. And it's like, I can't do that right now. But, that's tough because there's been a lot of dope rap groups. If we're saying more than one MC, there's been a lot of them that probably have a better discography than Brand Nubian.
After that was said, I kind of like did a mental little process with like an old computer and shit. Real shit. I don't even think them niggas fit in my top 20 New York, New Jersey. Groups.
Woo.
Now, I know we got some real hip hop niggas listening to this shit.
Right.
I think I can name 20 groups from New York, New Jersey better than Brand Nubian.
Okay, well, I don't know if we can do that now unless you got the list ready to go. I'm all ears to listen.
I can ramble off some names. Let's just go. I'm gonna spit them.
All right, let's do this.
Mobb Deep.
Of course.
We can count them, all right?
Yeah.
Mobb Deep.
A Tribe Called Quest.
Yes. EPMD.
Yes.
The Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes.
De La Soul.
Yes. That's 5.
That's 5. Okay. Even though I didn't fuck with their music, I think they made a bigger impact. I'll say Naughty by Nature.
Okay. That's 6.
Who else? I said Tribe already, right?
Yes, you did.
Run DMC.
7.
Shit. If we want to include them in the group, y'all may not agree. I'm fucking with G Unit over them niggas. That's just my opinion.
Okay, G Unit.
G Unit.
I mean,
Impact?
wise, that's not a question. I mean, yes. Okay.
Who else?
That's 8 right now.
Boogie Down Productions. Or do you really consider that one?
No, we'll go with Boogie Down Productions. They have an album, Boogie Down Productions. Yes, that's 9.
Public Enemy.
That's of course 10. No debate.
Who else we got? Shit.
All right, so let me, and I'm just being. I'll throw some. So we're at 10. I'll throw some of their peers out from that time. Nice and smooth.
That's what I'm saying. I'm fucking with Nice and Smooth. Look, that's 11, right? Look, Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
That's 12.
That's 12. Shit.
Black Moon.
Black Moon.
That's 13.
Come on, man. I'm telling you.
Helter Skelter.
I'm fucking with them. I fuck with Helter Skelter over Brand Nubian any day.
That's 14.
Who else?
Shout out to my pops. Illinois Scratch. No,
I only heard one song.
I just threw that.
Okay.
I threw that out.
I fuck with the Locks over them.
That's 15.
That's 15.
What about the Dip set?
I'm fucking with the Dips over there.
That's 16.
That's 16.
We only got to name 3 others.
3 more. Okay. I'm drawing a blank, but look, let me.
We're forgetting about some big time groups too.
Yeah.
That's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
We're forgetting about some groups. All right, here's one, and this is kind of peer group. Diggable Planets. Who you fucking with? Diggable Planets? Or you fucking with Brand Nubian?
Personally, I like Diggable better.
Okay, Sime. You doing Diggable? Okay, so that was, what did we say?
That's 17.
So no, we were already at 3. That's 18.
Okay.
So now we need 2
more, and this should be easy. I just got to think real quick.
Take your time. I'm trying to think who else is out there.
It sounded outlandish at first, didn't it?
Well, it did, because I think 20 New York groups is a lot of groups, but as you continue to go, now here's something that nobody ever mentions because they, bent the genre. What about the Beastie Boys? I mean, I know you might not personally listen to them, but are you taking Beasties over
Brand Nubian? I'm taking the Fat Boy over Brand Nubian. If you want to go back to the essence.
Seriously, you taking the Fat Boys over Brand?
I know more Fat Boy songs.
Okay.
And I don't think Brand Nubian is trash because I fucking bought the Wild Cowboy, so that's fucking solo.
Yeah, no, fuck it.
Well, Fat Boys is kind of pushing it.
I think that's pushing a little bit.
Okay.
All right, so here's one. Let me ask you, Black Sheep.
That's one of the ones I was thinking of.
Okay.
I'll fuck with Black Sheep over them.
Jungle Brothers.
Jungle Brothers.
Yes.
I know. Even like personally, I fuck with Dodge Effects over Brand Nubian.
Effects, X-Clan.
Come on, like,
yeah.
I didn't even dip into Jersey. I only said fucking one group.
Where were the major figures from?
Philly.
Okay.
See, if I would have said East Coast, then it would have been over a long time ago.
Major figures had some heat. I know we're forgetting somebody. People be like, I can't believe y'all forgot about.
This is off the top.
This is off the top, but that's 22, 23.
Personally, I'm fucking with the Gravediggers over them.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We already passed 20.
We already passed 20.
So if you did nationally, it gets out of control.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like you said, I mean, they've made their impact, but I think that Lord Jamar allows Vlad to put a battery in his back.
Yeah, he sure does.
And at the end of the day, he's the one that's looking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs with some of the statements he makes. And I agree with him. No one in the hood fucks with Eminem. A lot of his shit is corny, but you've been saying that forever. You know what I mean? Find some other shit to do, bro. I mean, real spit. Move on.
Yeah.
Shit, what else is going on, man? Missy's back, new record, haven't heard it. Salute to her. MTV's giving her like a Video Vanguard Award or something like that, so props to her. I mentioned Rhapsody has a new album out. I think it's really dope. Heard a couple tracks on it, but I like how she names every track on the album after a woman. So she got an Oprah track, a Michelle track, a Sada Shakur track or whatever. So much props to her on that. Little Brother's now back. I haven't heard it, but new album, and they're going on a small tour. They'll be out our way in like November, right around Thanksgiving time. So salute to Fonte and rapper Pooh for that. Shit, what else?
What else is out?
Did y'all see Blueface with his fucking choker? He got the blue bandana.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Just I don't know, man.
is that some just? When I saw that, I was like, "Boy, you a fool."
Niggas just ain't got nothing to spend their money on.
Yeah, it looked like a slave collar or some shit like that.
Again, trust funds and shit.
I wonder what the retail price of that really was. Because that's a house. If all that shit was real, that's a house.
That nigga look like Scrappy Doo with that shit around his neck.
That shit is crazy, man. But now, I mean, shit, this is probably gonna be a quick one, fellas. I don't know if we have too much to talk about. You know, ain't really too much of anything going down other than Drake and his people getting sued again for stealing beats and songs from niggas.
That's how you stay on top. Shit.
I just don't see how the people continue to fuck with him when, you know, Kiki, Did You Love Me? You ripped off Hotline Bling. These two new ones that are everybody's favorite, supposedly ripped off.
But it's accepted. I mean, these youngsters don't have I don't know what the fuck, integrity or not
Like
integrity,
a pride. They just feel, hey, I'm happy that Drake kind of got me on.
Like our standards don't fucking matter no more. Like it doesn't matter. It's the same thing like we were saying with like Tekashi. He can come home as long as he ain't on street shit. He'll still be accepted.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be coming home soon. They say. So this trial's moving along, and
you got what you about to get sentenced.
Yeah, he got sentenced for some other shit. They're gonna hit him with time served, so they can hit him on the other thing. But I guess Tekashi's now worried about his family as the trial moves closer. And yeah, it's really sad, man. I mean, hopefully he gets whatever help he needs. Kodak Black's getting out soon. Hopefully he tones down, talking about punching pregnant women in the stomach. I mean, there's just no gatekeepers for us, man, anymore. Like, who's gonna just slap the shit out these people and say you out of bounds, man?
Nobody, because these young niggas are the influence of the culture right now. And if you ain't a big dog and you fuck with one of them, you're gonna get called out and you're gonna lose your fan base. Yeah. It's crazy. The youth or the youngsters are more influential. Not only influential, they're more united than us old cats. Yeah. Like, they'll ride for their cause, even if it's some ignorant shit. They will join together and make what they want what it is, and don't give a fuck what we talking about. Right. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, we done clowned all kind of niggas, but they still going strong. Yeah. All them freshman cover niggas, they all garbage. You know, besides like one, maybe two. But that shit ain't. The majority of them are still eating. Yeah, fucking, that shit ain't stopping nothing. Fucking Bad Baby still making money. Mm-hmm. I seen her drop a fucking a mobile fucking game today, stealing cars and collecting money and shit, and stealing cars, and I seen her post, so I just like, for real. So I just, Instagram is a snitch now. It tells you who liked it. So I look at the names of the people who liked it, and I'm like, oh, for real, you like. People who I wouldn't think would like what she's posting, like what she's posting, and it tells me everything I need to know. Yeah, and it's just weird, man. Like with her, they put her out there like she's of age, and it's just sad. And then I saw a video where she was going off on how Nicki don't write her own rhymes, Cardi don't write her rhymes, but everybody hates her because she's white. And you know what? There's probably a lot of truth to that, because you're this annoying little white girl. I mean, I get why people don't like you, but it's just crazy that she's able to still keep herself relevant. And again, it just goes to show that we no longer control our own shit. You know what I mean? We no longer control our own shit, man.
Because we let the capitalists take over.
Yeah, word to the fucking capitalists, man. So, let's wrap this shit up, man. It's a little late. I'm
ready to wrap it up because I just looked at how many followers she got.
How many followers she got?
17 million.
Fuck.
Fuck. I'm gonna be very curious too.
And that's why we falling for chicken sandwiches in 2019.
I'm gonna be very curious to see when an album drops, whenever that is, if it ever is, what type of traction and impact that she has. What type of traction beforehand?
And do like a 6 month follow up. See where the fucking followers and shit is at in 6 months, if she can sustain that.
I mean, I don't know how long she's been on Instagram, or I'm assuming that's where we looked.
Yeah.
If she can't increase her fan base being signed, then there's a problem. I don't think she'll lose followers unless, I forget who it was. They just popped a whole bunch of, or I guess Instagram goes through every once in a while and just removes all the fake followers. And I think it was like Kim Kardashian lost 10 million followers or something like that. Like there was a lot of people who was one celebrity, half of their friends list was fake, or half of their Instagram. It's sad. Keep the shit hip hop. A couple years back, that same shit happened, and Mace only had like 100 followers after all his shit, after all the fake.
I remember that.
Yeah, they was going in on Mace. Like, how you got only my little brother who's 7 has 100 people who follow him. You know what I mean? So, smoke and mirrors, man.
Quick guess. How many followers do you think 50 got? You know, his music is irrelevant. He's doing memes and shit. He's a bully. How many followers?
I mean, I think he probably has a whole lot because he's doing memes and he's the meme man. So I would say he has more than Danielle Baroni. Yeah, I'd say, maybe he's got 22 million.
24.
24, yeah. So 50, again, is relevant in that space.
Yeah.
That's where he's relevant. People, great segue, because there was a couple dudes online in this group that I messed with that were trying to get 50 to help their video go viral. So they did a video of that, whatever he had. He just had some sort of party.
The tycoon shit.
Tycoon party or whatever. So he had a tycoon party, and so they did a video of, I guess, 50 shutting people down like they were pretending to be 50. 50, I guess, went ahead and saw it on Instagram and then rebranded or something like that. So they were super hyped. But that's 50 space now, and that's where he, that's where he runs shit. And the crazy shit to me is he has those many followers, but he can't make himself again relevant musically. He's got to find something. I think if 50 and Dre ever came back together and did something on a one-off, I think that would be the automatic lightning
regardless of
strike.
how stagnant young cats are, they're both their talent levels, getting right back on the same wave.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shit, fellas. Before we get out of here, anything you wanna say?
Yeah, just stay away from the Colonel's fried chicken.
No, Popeyes, right? Or Colonel's too.
I'm saying Colonel's from that damn movie, Undercover Brother.
Oh, Undercover Brother. Yeah. Son Capone taking broads home.
Just shout out everybody listening, man. Have a productive week. Get this fucking money.
Yeah, and hey, baby mama, stay athletic. If you want that Son Capone,
saving in the building.
if you want that Son Capone stimulus package, stay flexible and stay athletic.
Kicking off in September, baby.
So again, everybody rocking with us, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to an honest conversation about hip hop. For Son Capone and Big Pooh, I'm your boy D Moraney, aka Hip Hop's Uncle Phil. Until next time, we'll holla at you. Peace.